you're paying for my effort to get all the food. You're paying for my food knowledge. You're paying for the many, many, many hours I'm prepping before I come here. And then you're paying because I have to also make a living.
Welcome back to the Running Wine Mom podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Slinsky, aka the Running Wine Mom. Today, we are talking food, and not just what's for dinner, but the kind of food that makes people linger at the table a little longer. I'm sitting down with Stephen and Nicolas Servis, identical twin chefs and the founders of Servis Events right here in Bucks County, PA. They run a private chef and catering company rooted in seasonal ingredients and farm-to-table cooking. But what I really love is that their whole business centers around gathering, the kind where people sit down, slow down, and connect. Something I can firsthand attest to. I was able to experience this right here in Rocking Horse Acres, where we are filming this episode. We're getting into the first meal that made them feel like chefs and what it's like running a business with your twin, burnout, disagreements, seasonal menu pivots, and more. So without further ado, let's welcome Nicolas and Stephen, aka the Servis Brothers. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thank you for having us. Happy to be here.
I am so excited to have you guys on. As I mentioned, I was able to come to an event that was in November, right?
Yep.
Finally get to try. I see you guys on social media all the time.
Yeah.
So it was great to finally try your meals. And before we get talking about food, to start each episode, we have our wine, and win of the week segment. That is where we share our favorite bottle of wine, then about something that's been bothering us, and share our recent victories. So
Awesome.
Grab a glass, which we already have, take a deep breath, and let's get started. All right, guys. So what is your wine of the week?
So our wine here is a Monte Versa from Dry Farm Wines. This was given to us by our buddy Nash Reba. He's actually a private chef also in New Jersey, right over the bridge in like Hunterdon County. We passed a lot of business to him. So as a thank you and as a gift, he gave us some PBR and he gave us some awesome wine. Cracking over.
If you're watching, I'll show you that.
Yeah, so we all figured it'd be a little more appropriate to drink some wine tonight instead of PBR.
Listen, we don't discriminate on this. All right, so let's talk about our wines of the week.
Yeah,
all right.
Wines are similar. We'll let Nick go about that.
All right, Nick, go ahead.
The wine for this week is the weather. Us being here sitting at Rocking Horse Acres, we raise some animals for our family just to eat and enjoy, and it's fun for the guests who stay here at the farm. It has been a literal nightmare trying to bring hay out, deal with the mud, deal with the rain, frozen pipes, frozen weather, poop everywhere, dirty animals, everything else. It's just been a nonstop nightmare. And looking at the weather, I don't think today is Tuesday. It's not going to stop raining until Sunday. Yeah. So it is just really killing us. We're trying to get garden stuff started and things like that going. Pruning's finished, and we just cannot do anything. Yeah. It's really putting, and then we are super busy in our, private chef business. So it's pushing everything back way further than it should.
Yeah. So how is that affecting any of the local ingredient? Is there anything that's been affected because of the weather?
Not quite yet.
Yeah,
we'll see more.
Still very early.
Okay.
We're still using storage crops, things that were harvested. Like in this fall of last year. Winter vegetables. So we'll see. As we do want rain at this time of year. It's just more so you get a glimpse of the nice 60-degree
Saturday. It's like, why?
Back to the frost and everything, back to rainy, freezing rain this morning. And
I
everything,
know.
That's more so what it is.
Yeah, so that's been really tough, and just trying to do this farm stuff is just really hard.
That's our wine.
Yeah, I'm wearing dirty boots and Steve's wearing clean sneakers.
Yeah.
Well, my Uggs are ruined after this winter because it's just been the snow and melting.
Snow and melting. Yep.
So what's your guys' win of the week?
It's a tough one. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
We have a really busy weekend. I try more so nowadays. I'm thinking more like parenting wins, parenting, like that. Just started listening to this book, Good Inside.
Oh yeah, it's a good.
Which is just great about learning to just deal with your own frustrations and stuff like that. So learning my own inner dialogue when the kids are acting out at home.
It's funny that you say that because I was actually thinking the other day, this randomly popped in my head, and it's so important for parents to do the work on themselves, because if you want your kids to act a certain way and react a certain way, you have to show that. And
exactly.
That's something that I was not prepared for in parenting, when, your kid is having a whole meltdown and inside you're having a whole meltdown. And you're like, okay, we're just going to work through this.
Exactly.
I would say, it gets a win, not really in our chef business, but my dad and I finally got
kind of to go on Winding Brook Farm
Okay.
in Warrington. We grew up right down the street from there to meet Bob Gargis, one of the owners for who knows how long.
Right.
To start to buy maybe cattle off them and stuff like that.
Cool.
You know, it's been tough to find cattle farms you can consistently buy from. It seems like a lot of the older generation just kind of gatekeep a little bit, and it's hard. I think also looking how we look to kind of get into that industry and that demographic, you know,
Right.
because they're all just old
farmers.
But we kind of keep saying, like, it seems like the move for that and for local meat and local vegetables and everything is just growing so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Who's taking it over next?
Right.
Yeah.
We want to be the ones who do that.
I love
But
that.
how do I get in if you're not
Yeah.
letting me in? Like, I'm just trying to help out too, you know? But
Yeah.
obviously that's a win. We should be getting two more cows next week.
Cool.
So we'll see.
And that makes me so happy because it is, I mean, it's just sad how many of the farms are being, you know, turned into development. I know the owners of Hollow House Farm, and they're younger too. And that was like really cool they were like the first young people.
We helped clear their land.
Yeah.
We helped.
And they were like the first young people that I met that were farmers. And I was like, this is, we are the adults now.
No,
we have to do it.
It's our turn now.
It's our turn to keep this going. You know,
Yeah.
it's awesome to me. We know a lot of produce farmers and stuff like that. Not a lot of young cattle, you know, livestock farmers. There's a few like Riley from Seven Cedar Farms who does a bunch of lamb and chickens and stuff like that, who is just the man. Yeah. You know, we have Sean Antonia. The Colemans
might be our youngest cattle people we know.
Yeah, they're our age, went to high school with them. But other than that, it's, you know, getting kind of forgotten, which
I know. Which
we really don't want it to.
No, especially where we live. Like, it's something I feel like that is so important to where we're at. It's very different than a lot of other areas.
Yeah.
And there's the people there, but to do it, we just need to do it.
We also say too, which being in Bucks County, I think we could all relate, like, the money's here.
Yeah, right.
People want to spend their money on that, which is why on quality, which is why our business does fairly well. Like, people want to know now where their food's coming from. I think we all have kind of woken up to the manufactured corporate food industry and how it's not with our best interest in mind.
So we'll get into that.
Yeah, we will. Well, it is cool to see how, you know, I feel like being, you know, I'm a baby of like the 80s and 90s and like how it was like fast foods were coming up everywhere. And even when we went, my husband and I went to Niagara Falls about like 7 or 8 years ago, I guess. And like the Canada side, it was like all chain restaurants. And I was like, this was probably super cool in the 90s. I'm like, but it is also cool to know that now I feel as though that's like nobody wants to do that. And everybody wants to like know where things are sourced from, which we are going to talk about that. And that was one of the coolest things about eating with you guys that we're going to talk about. Okay. All right. So that is what we're going to get into next. So can you guys tell us about your business? How did it start? For people who may have never heard of you, who are outside of Bucks County, because everyone in Bucks County has heard of it. Just about it.
Yeah, I guess a quick little synopsis of how it really started. When I was executive chef at Ardena or Ardana, as everybody kind of calls it in Warrington, I helped the Christo family of Casey Prime. Amazing, amazing people. Helped them open that as executive chef. When I was there, I had a lady ask me if I would cook for her privately. At the time, I was so busy and so overwhelmed, I could barely even think. It's like, yeah, sure. Thank you for asking. That means a lot to me. But I knew in the back of my mind, no way I can do that. I came home and mentioned to Steve, hey, some lady today asked if I would cook for her privately. And he was like, dude, that sounds amazing. I could totally do that. I can think of a million things to do. Give me, you know, her number. She won't know the difference between us, you know. And at the time, I was like, dude, no way.
Yeah.
This was February of 2020, right before the pandemic came. March 15th, pandemic came, shut us down. I was doing a day or two in the restaurants. He was completely done in the restaurant.
I was at Slate at the time.
Oh,
so
okay.
They didn't try to take out. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then we found ourselves in June living on a organic vegetable farm up in Maine. Just to learn more about organic farming, regenerative living, homesteading, holistic agriculture. And when we were there, we shared the like in-home kind of private event idea with the family, and they like really grabbed onto it. When we did our interview with them kind of like on Zoom, they ended up telling us they didn't want us coming to their farm because of our appearance.
Wow.
You know, they were a very rural Christian family, which is amazing. When we got there, we ended up breaking down all of their walls, became their best friend.
Wow.
We've gone back 4 or 5 times.
Oh, that's so cool.
And they then said to us, like, you guys need to do this. You need to go tell your story and bring all of this back to Bucks County. And we came back from our experience in August, started Servis Events in October, and have not done anything since.
So I do want to talk about appearance, like, for a minute, you know, that you've mentioned it like a few times in the farming world. What is it? I mean, you obviously are breaking
The mold.
you're breaking the mold. Why do you think that there's a stigma that, like, that you guys can't be just as good as someone who...
For anybody listening who doesn't see it, like, we're from our chin down tattoo. It's one thing to have a couple tattoos in your arms or to have like a sleeve or something. I think people are used to that. But when we come in our hands, our knuckles, our necks, our chins, we're tattooed all the way up. It's just something that I think it could take people back at first.
Yeah.
And they're not quite used to seeing it. And then, like, we get it at our dinners too. And once we start having conversations, we start talking. I think it's just people don't know.
Right.
And once we start talking, they're always like, anybody we do meet is always more than like, I want to work with you. You guys are awesome. I'm willing to share my knowledge with you. I'm willing to share any connections I have with you. Yeah. I think it's like everything. It's just judging the book by the cover.
Right.
But I will say, when I see people who look like me on the street, I'm like, that guy's crazy looking. And then I'm like, I look the same way.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. I mean, you guys are so sweet and like, like, I mean, I mean, I don't know how crazy it gets in the kitchen. I'm sure that's different, but just your energy is very like laid back and
we get it. Like you said, if I see somebody covered in face tattoos, I'm also like, oh wow. I get it.
And especially with like the clientele that you're not working with, you know, you're working with very high, you know, income people, which is, but I mean, I think that can help teach other people stuff too. That
I think it is cool, even because this comes up at every event we do. It comes up everywhere we go. Whenever we say, oh yeah, this family didn't want us coming there because of our look, everyone's always like, oh, what do you mean? Yeah. I'm like, yo, come on.
Yeah, you're like...
Yeah, we know. I can see your face when I walked in. I've been getting it for 20 years.
Right.
I get it. Like, it's fine.
I know.
It's fine.
It's very...
No, it's definitely breaking down. It's not as strong as it was 10 years ago when we first started in restaurants. It's cool. And we had a mentor tell us when we were like 17, I'm the guy hiring, and he was all tattooed too.
Right.
And he's like, so I don't care how you look.
Right.
And that's kind of what we see now. We're the people hiring now. We're the ones who are now running the businesses, trying to make things go. I don't care how you look.
Right.
Do you have a good attitude? Do you have a little bit of skill? Are you willing to learn? Can you take criticism? If that's the case, cover your face and tattoos. I don't care. So thankfully the stigma is kind of going away, which is nice. But
I feel like in general, tattoos are like way more...
To us, it says you make money.
Right.
It says you have commitment. And it says you're willing to dedicate yourself to something. Because they're painful, they're expensive.
I was like, they're not cheap. You know, that should be something. Oh, wow. You have how many tattoos? Exactly. How much money is on your body right now?
Yeah. And they hurt really bad. Exactly. So,
all right. So you guys are twins. And I mean, business partners, you've started in the womb together and now you're next to each other in the kitchen. How much of your work is teamwork? How much of it how much of it is instinct and how much is intentional?
I mean, I think a lot of it is instinctual. We work well together. I think more of the instinct type stuff is like we can have disagreements and know that like we're going to come back the next day.
Yeah.
And like we can like argue and it's going to be okay. I think we do. It's not instinctual to do the business things. Like I saw in the notes of like who's the strategist, who's the idea person. Right. We're still always trying to kind of figure those things out. We don't necessarily have like who does the ideas and who does this. We're working on getting some of those kind of things put into place, but we just spent the last 5 years getting the business established, figuring out our menu items, figuring out how things change seasonally. We'll get into it a little bit. But just all these other little kind of things that that haven't been like when we started this whole thing as a way to cook during the pandemic. It wasn't until two years in or so that we're like, you know what, we should start taking this seriously. We should go to a website and we should do all the things like a real business should do. You know what I mean? And so we spent so much time focusing on the food. I think this year is a little more about like, let's figure out our financial literacy. Let's figure out some of these roles. Let's differentiate things. Let's have roles inside the business together. You know, he brought up the other day, it was a cool epiphany of how like the FBI has a foreign and domestic, not like the FBI and the CIA. But like we can have internal and external affairs. So like anything internal, Nick handles. I talk to the guests. When you email, you talk to me. When you DM, you talk to me. Right. I know where we're going. I know the people we're hosting. He can do our ads for the people, the social media, like booking the podcast. It's like accounting and all the different things. Like we're figuring out some of that stuff.
Just to make it more streamlined for like your sanity, essentially.
When we first started, I remember my wife asked me the one time, she's like, what do you mean I don't know where you're going tonight? And I was like, babe, if I knew everything going on, nothing would get done.
Mhm.
Vice versa, where like we have to split roles. And we see it sometimes even here at our farm or at our house or whatever, like the idea of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
If everybody's trying to do everything, then nothing gets done.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to kind of delegate, know who's responsible for what. When a job comes up or an issue comes up, we say to each other, is this internal or external? Yo, sorry, bro, it's a shitty job,
Yeah.
but that's your role, man. It's external. You gotta do it. And it's like, okay, bite the bullet and,
Yeah.
you know, go get it done.
Yeah.
So it makes figuring out tasks between him and I, because it's just him and I.
Yeah.
There's nobody else a part of this. So it makes that easier to move forward thinking about what the role is and where it kind of falls in the business and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's so, and I love that you're just figuring it out along the way, and you're already so successful. So it's like,
The whole thing, we'll get into it in a minute. I don't know if it's something like
Yeah.
overcoming something, but the whole thing is just like, that's all it's been.
yeah.
I never thought this would work. We didn't know this was an option until this woman mentioned the idea of cooking in homes.
I still didn't even know.
Didn't know there was even the possibility to do so.
Yeah.
Like, we're still, fortunately, I feel like we kind of hit a lot of the, well, I won't say home runs, but we hit the way of like getting our information, how we provide all the plates, how we provide all the silverware, how we don't clean up in your house,
Yeah.
how we do certain things like that. I think we did hit it as like, for the first try, is like, damn, I can't believe like we hit it that well.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are things right now going back to some of these things internally that like we need to start figuring them out. You know, it's been 5 years of an idea we had is now lasted 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
So does this lady know that it's all because of her?
No, she reached out to us about something,
She
and
asked us to do like a vegan baby shower or bridal shower thing for her daughter, and
it was like our first week in business. She reached out for it, and just she wasn't aligned with our pricing at the time.
Yeah.
And it just we never heard from her again.
Yeah.
I would
That
love
was
to see her.
yeah.
Tell her.
Yeah, I know. You
Yeah.
should like email her and be like, this
Like,
is
hey,
all
yeah,
because
we've been
I
doing it for
have
5
actually,
years
I
now.
have actually emailed her again. I'm like, hey, just want to follow up with you again.
Yeah.
If you ever want to try our services, like you have no idea how much of an impact you've made on our lives. Like that,
Aw.
you don't know that.
Yeah.
I
Well, it's
never.
important.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, whatever.
She probably doesn't realize, like,
She has
actually,
no idea.
this
No,
is.
right, right, no.
So if you're listening,
Yes.
so what's a memory from your childhood kitchen that kind of influences the way you guys cook today?
Sure. We do a lot of seasonal stuff nowadays. That's like what our whole life's about.
Mhm.
I can remember picking blueberries with my grandmom as a kid, and then doing like looking down in it, the cranberry relish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching the cranberries pop as they
Yeah.
would go into the
Oh,
grinder.
cool.
Yeah.
Those are kind of like making some pasta.
Yeah, we didn't really have a big culinary background.
Yeah.
We went to MBIT, the trade school, or right in Jamison for high school,
Mhm.
only because it sounded fun and
Yeah.
it gave us less school.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then when we got into the industry, into kitchens, we just fell in love with the chaos.
Yeah.
My chin tattoo says "Embrace the
Oh,
chaos."
I love it.
Yeah.
So like we just loved that. When we think back on our grandma, even to this day, she's in her mid-80s, still gardens every
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
Like, so we grew up around it,
Mhm.
but never had like culinary experiences in
Yeah.
our own home.
Parents didn't own a restaurant. Our dad had
Right.
a little deli when we were 2 that we don't even remember.
Right.
But like my
Yeah.
parents didn't do it. We didn't grow up with them like making Sunday dinners. We didn't have big family gatherings.
But I
It
will
wasn't-
say Thanksgiving to our family,
Yeah.
our service side family, was always the best holiday.
Yeah.
So like coming together around food was always a big thing. A big
Yeah.
rule in our house growing up was you have to be home for dinner.
It's
We
family.
sit down as a family, we eat dinner. We did not grow up like religious or anything, but it was like
It's
at
important.
5 o'clock, you can go do whatever the fuck you want
Mhm.
after school. But at 5 o'clock, you better be home for dinner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're all sitting down, we're eating dinner, and that was before cell phones and all that
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So, like,
When we were
actually
able to
had
just
sit
go
down
and
and
do.
talk and everything. So we try to keep that still instilled in our life with his family and
Yeah.
my wife and everything.
Well, so we grew up around the corner from my grandparents and my aunt and uncle. My dad's 100% Italian. We did have Sunday dinners. I'm not a great cook, but
Sure.
he had my pop had a huge garden, everything, we ate like home where we think about how much time they spent
Yeah.
in the kitchen,
Yep.
which is crazy. But sitting down at dinner time was so important for not just going to my grandparents, but like at my parents too. But my husband, I remember us talking and he said, yeah, we could eat in our room dinner. I said, excuse me, what?
Right?
Excuse me, what?
Well, yeah. No.
What do you mean? We
Yeah.
could, but and he's like very adamant about our kids doing it because he sees the way that it brings out conversation, bonding
Yep.
with each other. And it's so important.
I think it's like you said, the bonding, like it's a small aspect you don't realize.
No, you don't.
Like it might only be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like your kids remember that growing
Mhm.
up. Like we remembered it growing up.
Well, we tell the story to start all our events at the houses when we do them about how the table in Maine, those 5 family members, and there were 5 wolfers, we were from all over the country. the table and the food is what brought everybody together.
Mhm.
It's what opened you up.
Yeah.
Like, it's what made you feel more comfortable to answer or ask questions. Like, hey, can you pass me that?
It was the one
Like,
time you had to sit across from everybody. You
Yes.
had to face
Yeah.
them all.
yeah.
And you're forced to, unless you want to sit in awkward
Yeah.
silence.
But for the kind of people I won't allow that.
Yeah.
You know?
No. Well, I don't think you could at like your meals. I feel
Yeah.
like it's too, I mean, at the meal that I came at, I didn't really know anybody
Yeah.
there. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to, hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Where are you from? You know, try
Yeah.
to think of all the questions. And then
Sure.
it became like really, nice
That's
to do
fun.
that.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about, Nick, maybe you could answer this
Yeah.
one, going from restaurant to kitchen. Besides COVID pushing you into this, if COVID didn't happen, do you think this would have ever?
No,
No.
absolutely not. If COVID, I thought I was going to die in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, if COVID never happened, it never would have given us a brief
Pause.
moment of breather to look back. I'm like, hey, when COVID happened, we've been in kitchens at that point for probably 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was like, you never had a chance to look back because you were always looking, what's next? How can I improve? How can I move up the chain of hierarchies in the kitchen? I hit executive chef at 26. So it was like, how do you keep going?
Right.
So when you got there, I made it. Now,
You're like, now
hold
what?
on to it. Hold on for dear life.
Right.
That's what I was doing. Totally over my head. Couldn't breathe, totally overwhelmed, but just trying to make it through. So without that break, never would have looked back. I'm like, hey, what was our life for the last 10 years? So if it hadn't happened, I'd probably still be in the kitchen or would be totally out of food.
Yeah. You're like, no.
Yeah, it would have ran me out of the entire industry. But yeah, so I don't think so. Yeah.
And then so when I was reading, I forget where on your,
Yeah.
I guess, website about the worldwide opportunity of organic farms, that seemed super cool.
Yep.
So how did you find that? What
So
made
so
you
when I was
jump into
21, I was trying to get a job at the Mainland Inn. This was a farm-to-table restaurant in Harleysville, and it was kind of like Quarry Hill Farm presents the Mainland Inn. The owner, Sloan, owned Quarry Hill Farm, and she bought the Mainland Inn as a place to kind of showcase how powerful food could be. She beat breast cancer by changing her diet, eating more organic, and she wanted to, again, a place for the neighborhood to kind of see those things. I applied to the restaurant. I applied to the volunteer page. I joke at the events. Of course, the volunteer page answered first. So I went to the farm. They all knew I was a chef. I kept saying I wanted to go work in the restaurant, blah, but they kept using the word woofer and explaining to me that by being a woofer, which is worldwide opportunities on organic farms, you volunteer your work and you get free housing and free food from the farmer or the wolf host that you stay with. Now, at that time, we didn't care about that. I was just trying to get jobs in restaurants, wanted to be a chef. Farming wasn't in our wheelhouse quite yet. When the pandemic came and we found ourselves with literally nothing
You're
to
like,
do,
all right.
and we couldn't work, and we joke around with like people that I think like we can be open with and stuff, like the government gave us a bunch of money. So like we just wrote a 4-month rent check. It was my first time I was ever able to do that. And I was like, yo, we can just go live anywhere in the country we want for free and get food from the people we are living with.
Yeah.
And so it's just a way for us to like, we can't work and we can't do this stuff. There's money coming in. We were going to go buy a Honda Ruckus, which would be like the most irresponsible thing
Like
to do.
little dirt bike kind of thing.
Scooters,
Yeah.
So it was like, why don't we take the opportunity to go do something like this that we would never been able to do before?
Yeah.
It's going to be completely life-changing. And like, let's just go see, just to learn more about organic farming, like whatever it was.
A new skill.
Had no idea what was going to come from it and how like the farmer was one who's like, yo, you should go do this for a living kind of thing. But it was just a way to just keep learning about something while the pandemic was going on.
Yeah.
Kind of like weirdly like divine intervention.
Yeah, 100% was.
Now, were you?
Now we
were
say a
either
lot.
of you married at the time?
No.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately, we were not married. We had no kids. We were at the perfect age of it. I didn't live
Right.
at home. Like the pandemic was the best thing ever for us.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. We had such an amazing time.
Yeah.
But we say divine intervention like that. We're big believers in karma or the universe, or God
by
nowadays.
coincidence.
I agree.
Yeah.
And we applied to farms all over the country: California, Oregon, Idaho, New Mexico, Maine,
Vermont.
They were the closest farm we applied to that answered. They answered first. We were going to drive wherever it was. We were going to drive to California if we had to. I did not want to be stuck with a family I hate.
Right.
So I wanted to have a car so we can do whatever we wanted to.
Yeah.
True.
Which honestly, if we had to,
Yeah.
But having the car in Maine is what made our experience so awesome.
Yeah.
We could do whatever we wanted.
we saw
And
all of it.
we saw all of it. And so applying to all these things, and they were the first farm that answered, the closest farm that answered. Everything we grew in Maine, I can grow back here in Bucks County. And
Oh,
also,
yeah.
the entire family was completely homeopathic and holistic. So their food was medicine, is how they lived,
Right.
which is our whole life.
Our whole business philosophy.
So we got there, and it was like, yo, like,
we're meant to be here.
We're meant to be.
Yeah,
And
truly.
also they needed help. The husband passed away last February. He was literally bedridden the whole time we were there. So they
Wow.
needed people like us
They're
who were
like-
going to come and take over things. And like
Yeah.
we came and we essentially became like managers for them.
Yeah.
You know?
In like 5 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We just use our kitchen knowledge and the way to take initiative to just apply it to the farm.
And also tell them, hey, you could tell me I suck at this.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
improve. Just tell me.
Which we did, and they really like that's what broke the first wall down.
Yeah.
Was like them, the husband calling us in and saying we didn't do something properly, but the son would never correct us. And the next morning saying, "Yo, Josh, you can tell us if it's not right."
Mhm.
And then after that, every task we would do, we say, "Hey, Josh, can you come check this to make sure it's right?
Yeah.
Is this up to your standard?"
Yeah.
And after that, they were like, "Yo, these guys are awesome."
And that's so, I mean, there's just so many people that can't handle that.
Most
and I
people
feel
were there on gap years trying to hang out in the sun,
And
pick some
just
weeds,
chill,
and
yeah.
just do nothing.
Like these farmers are making a living by this.
Yeah.
Like, you're helping them make a living, and they're providing you with a living also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And when you leave, like they still need it to be to standard.
Yeah.
So like if
Yes.
you guys are screwing up
Yeah.
for 5 months or whatever,
Yeah.
you know,
They would tell
Uh,
us stories of having like, they would have their big thing at the farm we were staying at was cherry tomatoes.
mhm.
They had 4 greenhouses of just cherry tomatoes. They were the first ones in Maine to have them, and the last ones to also have them.
Okay.
So they'd say, hey, Veronica, go down to greenhouse 3 and pull out the first 2 rows because they're done, and we're gonna replant those, with spinach. They go down and pull out rows 4 and 5, which are just starting. That's like a $3,000 crop you just pulled out. I know these people are working for free, so you can't like really reprimand that.
I-
We're like, oh, you can.
You're like,
yeah,
please
yeah.
tell us.
Yeah.
Please tell us.
So
Like,
yes, it was cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
that's so cool. And
Yeah.
I mean, really, it makes you like, I mean, seeing what you guys are, and again, that just also shows like people probably see you guys now and they're like, oh yeah, these guys just like randomly started
Yeah,
this I mean, that's
This is why we start every event by telling the story.
Yeah.
right.
Well, we say it's been a 5-year overnight success.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
15, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, really. But yeah.
So Nick, to go into farm to table, what kind of resonates with you most personally? Sustainability, local relationships, or maybe something else?
Really, it's the health benefits.
Mhm.
For the Dual Cardinal, I've written a fair amount of articles comparing, regenerative farming and sustainable farming compared to, commercial big box farming. Just the nutrients, the density, the bioavailability is just immense. The flavor, like how it makes you feel, just your mind works better, like everything works better. And then for us, it's really the community and the relationships. We could never eat the way we eat if we didn't have the business we have. Going to all the farms, yes, we know is inconvenient for most people, but man, does it make life just so much more fulfilling. Like, we got our rocks off by
Yeah.
going to see farmers and talk to them and like see what they're doing this year, see how their operation has grown since last year.
It's really cool. And you're like, all right, see you next week.
Yeah.
And just, we always wanted to do the whole farm to table local food, even when we were in bigger restaurants around Bucks County. Just no owner cared for it.
It's
just
hard to do.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's very
because-
hard to do.
Yeah. It's not like,
It's not efficient. It's not the
Right.
cheapest.
Yeah.
And that's what restaurants are going for.
But we say you can charge more and you can do more. And
Yeah.
so
Which we see.
for us, that was the biggest driving point. Health, number 1.
Yeah.
Community, number 2. And then I guess-
Environmental impact, probably
Yeah.
number 3.
Yeah. And then 4, just selfish reasons.
yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's
Yeah.
like what we enjoy to do. Like, there's no better feeling than leaving a farm at 9:30 in the morning. Like, cool is this? It was take a second to be there.
When
hear the birds chirping
you're
and-
walking through the farm, like some of the memories like I have just walking through the fields, the farmer, and like stopping to watch the eagle.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm getting it's my fucking work day.
This
Yeah.
is your,
know what I
this is
mean?
you're outside. Yeah. And
Yes.
that's the other thing too. Like your work, that some people like are just stuck in an office and
Exactly.
cubicle all day. You guys get fresh air.
We've spent years in kitchens with no windows.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've done it.
And the
Yeah.
heat
I've been
and
there, done
the-
that. Like,
Not an office, but stuck in a room where there's no windows, you can't see the outside world, you don't know if it's raining or not.
Yeah. yeah. So I'd say though that's the biggest probably.
So to kind of again go with from the farm to table to go to the seasonal event or season menus,
Yep.
they evolve. So how do you juggle the creativity with the practicality with the price of everything and the ingredients available?
Getting this started, we always kind of had a philosophy, and we always heard it kind of in college when we were being told, was like, buy the best and you can charge more.
Mm-hmm.
So like our philosophy was always like premium things like make more sense to us.
Yeah.
I understand like the market or like the margins of like higher price, high quality kind of things. So we wanted to have the best products and charge accordingly for it. finding the farmers. So when people ask how we change the menu and how we do these kind of things, like it sounds simpler than it actually is.
Right.
Like we only cook what's in season. So you start by what's in season.
Yeah.
And then then we'll pick like asparagus for one dish, beets for another dish, salad mix for one, rhubarb for one, thinking about like April and May, green garlic for another one. And then you're taking that one ingredient specifically and you're kind of creating a dish around that.
Mhm.
And you're creating like, all right, what are the things that are also available that we can put onto that dish?
Yeah.
We spent the last 5 years of doing this really focused on the food
Mhm.
and changing the menus once a month, having 12 menus for a whole year. Now we're sort of slowing down with that a little bit. Menus are changing 3 to 4 courses every month.
Okay.
We're finding that things can just like they have a longer life
Yeah.
than just the 1 month. We're getting busier, so it's harder to like change them all the time.
Yeah.
And just it's like some things like we have been having the conversations even more recently of like some people go back to restaurants because they want that one specific dish the chef makes. How come we always feel like we have to be giving new things to
Yeah.
everybody?
Every
And I
time.
can't repeat anything, and it always has to be fresh and always.
When
has
were you
to be
guys
new.
born?
We were born technically, I think, in Abington.
No, I mean like
When?
when?
May 12th, 1990.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, are you guys a Gemini? Like maybe
Yeah,
because
Mars. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
Mars.
feel. Well, you're bullheaded then,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the seasonality always starts with like what's in season. We've been cooking this way for a couple of years now and in restaurants. So like we already have the ideas of kind of what's available.
Yeah.
Spending the last 5 years hyper focused on that. Outside of like the kitchens and stuff, like we're also into like foraging and nature identification and like naturalist kind of stuff, if you will. So also just knowing like what things come up, what things like what temperatures and humidity and like stuff like that has really been helpful.
Yeah.
So just knowing how to make dishes seasonally.
It also helps, for our home life and professional life. We do a lot of canning, preserving,
Yeah.
fermentation. So
Yeah.
like, in June or whatever, we'll buy as many strawberries as possible
Mhm.
and then we'll can them. So then
Mhm.
we'll serve
Make
strawberry
jam, fruit
sorbet
salad.
or whatever in January.
Okay.
But it's local strawberries.
Yeah.
So like we're still going with our philosophy. It's a way to like make you remember springtime. Strawberries in January.
We
holy
just had
shit.
like good examples. We keep frozen bags of fruit that we buy in season just in case. Let's say in February, right now we have somebody who has a dairy allergy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can make you blueberry sorbet for dessert from blueberries that we got that were local in season that we just froze and keep.
Mhm.
You know what I
that we
mean?
frozen vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
Do you ever take into consideration, like, obviously you have a good relationship with so many farms, but like, okay, this month I'm only going to 3 farms, or
We do try to find every year. Okay, so the
That's
produce
the hardest.
the produce farms are the ones that fluctuate the most.
okay,
The dairy farm is exactly the same. We have the same egg farmer, the same mill, the same, all that kind of stuff. It's the produce that does change a lot. And
Okay.
like people grow this one year, they don't grow it the next year. And they have this one year, they have next year. We do kind of have what we like to call our mother farms
Mhm.
of what are the ones you go to more specifically. And we're always trying to find those really deep connections of like just people who are easy to work with.
Yeah.
We kind of have like a saying of like, we're not wholesale, kind of order massive things. So we're not the largest fish, but we are very consistent fish. I might not be able to do a huge order with you, and I might like sometimes be a little inconvenient of, okay, can I come on Tuesday? Can I come again on Thursday? Can I come for this small thing here and this small thing there? But I would do that every single week. And then we try to kind of sometimes, I don't know how to put it to these farmers and people of like, for that whole month or 2 months or 3 months, like, yo, your name's on my menu.
yeah,
It's on my
it's
website.
free
I
advertising.
verbally say it multiple times a night at the dinners.
Yeah.
Like people try to like, they don't do it intentionally, but we'll work with some people and then next week it's like, hey, our minimum is now this and you can't break cases. I'm like, you're trying to box out our business? I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, like, I don't think you understand how much I'm promoting you outside of this.
Yeah.
And again, like it to smaller groups who are going to be paying it. Like
Yeah.
it's not like you're at a large restaurant where
Yeah,
you're
no.
serving hundreds of people
Yeah.
per night. You're at a small group of people who are like local.
And very intently listening.
And-
I-
yes.
Yeah.
But regardless, I can't be buying a case of Brussels sprouts. I'm
Mhm.
not buying cases of broccoli. I'm like, yo, can I have 5 bunches of carrots,
Mhm.
2 bunches of parsley, 3 bunches of beets, 4 heads of lettuce? Like
Mhm.
that's like an average, or like that's not a lot for people. But I'll do that every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adds
Sometimes it's
up.
a lot, and sometimes it's a
Sometimes it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
As we're getting, busier, it is more. So
So you talked about burnout, in a kitchen. When
Sure.
you guys hit burnout in your business,
Yeah.
whether, how do each of you guys kind of recharge or reset from all of this? Because it has to be high energy.
I mean, yeah, burnout nowadays looks different.
Yeah,
Than
so yeah,
back in
you
kitchens.
can go first with
Of
kids and
where like
everything.
kitchens was mostly physical.
Right.
It was just physical. Like, you were so overworked. You were like always on. It was long hours. They were high stress. Where this business is a little more mental.
Mm.
Or like it's so much dealing with people, so much emails. Again, like I'm saying, ordering everything from individual people. Our dairy farmer is a great example. You could pick up on Tuesday or Thursday, 9 to 11 on Tuesday, 2 to 4 on Thursday, or those opposites. Sorry. See, I got confused by them. So like figuring out all these things, keeping them all on track, like it's a lot more mental fatiguing doing this. The way we probably like recoup, we're really into like wellness. So like working out, saunas, we have the ice baths, the gardening and the farm stuff always helps.
It's not.
That's more like physical.
Just, hanging out in nature, like getting things done. Like, yeah, it doesn't help. Like when you grow a fucking plant and now you're picking 10 peppers off of it a day. Like, yeah, that's rewarding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You probably say, I mean, to recover, like seeing your friends. I've been having, at least this year myself personally, the understanding of like, I can't complain about not seeing friends if I'm also not putting effort into seeing friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just for an hour or
Mhm.
two. Hey, I'm gonna grab a beer, I'm gonna get coffee, whatever. Like, doing that recharges you so much more than I think people believe.
Doesn't be a whole day.
Just
1 hour.
1 hour. Let's get up real quick. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, it has to be a 5 or 6 hour thing. We have to go to dinner and this after. Like, I just saw my buddy recently, an hour and 15 minutes at a little dive bar.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Right.
We both felt great leaving. Like, I think more of that, at least for me. I don't
Yeah.
have kids, so like I can get away and do that every now and then. Taking the dogs for a walk, just, doing something with them. I mean, I also hate to say, like, be too busy, you can't be burnt out.
I understand. Listen, I
Keep going.
understand
Yeah, keep
that
going,
motto. Like, and when you like stop, you're like this weekend we didn't have a lot of plans, and I was like, what? I
What do I do?
feel like I'm lazy,
It's so,
and
like,
what am I doing? And like, I think I like told my friends, they're like, are you serious right now? Like,
Yep.
please stay in your house for more than 12 hours.
Yeah, anytime we take a few days off or we do a vacation or
Yeah.
whatever, I'm always like, when we come back, I'm like, I didn't need that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, it's harder now and I feel more stressed of trying to get back to everything. You put email, it's an amazing, amazing problem to have. We put
Right.
emails off for 2 days. You're coming back to 45 emails you have to answer.
Which
Yeah.
is stressful.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'd rather just answer them every day and just like keep the whole thing going
And
all
just
the time.
balance of
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
stress. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're just having, like, again, nobody lives here at the farm where we have our animals and stuff. So it's driving here every single day, making sure they're good, doing all the driving for the farms, doing the actual work. We always joke, keeping our relationship good,
Yeah.
keeping our marriages good.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on. So it's more like you just don't stop.
Yeah.
You know?
I can totally relate to that.
But yeah, like we're doing something we enjoy.
Yeah.
This is something
Well,
that we have
that's- yeah.
totally created on thin air.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a job.
And
like,
it's like, even though you're working, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
And,
you can't look at it as a job. That's when you get pissed off
Right.
and get upset. It's just a lifestyle choice that we made.
Oh, thanks.
We
Yeah.
also say too with that, like, doing what we do, we love it to death. It's still a job.
Yeah.
You know,
still
like,
have
There are
to-
tasks you don't want to do. There are emails you don't want to answer. There's phone calls you don't want to get back to. Like, there are still things like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we love it, but it is a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to kind of go on like the negative side of
Yeah.
that, can you describe a time that you guys completely disagreed, and how did you resolve it, and what did it maybe teach you about your partnership?
So we do 7-course tasting menus, as
Mm-hmm.
you saw. We go back and forth on plate sizes,
Okay.
Portion sizes.
portion sizes, where I would rather have somebody take a box where he's like, dude, it's big enough.
Okay, I say these because in our business also, if you're listening, Steve talking, I do the serving.
Yeah.
Nick is back of house.
Yeah.
So when he's like, do more, I'm like, yo, you're not the one out there, but people's food isn't finished on their plate. Like, we don't come from a front of house background.
No.
Yeah.
So until we had this business, I never served a table before.
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
So
I'm a front of the house girly,
no.
so
I don't know the etiquette. So
Yeah.
if you have a plate full of food still,
You're not.
it's awkward for me. Like, hey, excuse me, are you finished here?
Mm.
Bet we're better at it now, but it's like, dude, plate portions where it's not intimidating. There's 7 courses coming. Don't make them huge, because I'm the one who has to go out and face the unfinished. That's a hard one to say. It's not really a big disagreement.
I would say, disagreement is probably more just in personal life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We don't really.
We're very blessed that like we don't have a lot of disagreements.
Yeah.
We both have the same background. We both have the same education. We
Mhm.
both have like pretty much the same resume.
Yeah.
Besides a couple things, so like we have a lot of the same experiences. It's a lot of the same things to draw from.
We handle things differently for sure. we definitely think differently and speak differently and like process things differently. But we're very easy like, hey, look, dude, I think it's this. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
Mhm.
We're
Oh,
just
okay,
like,
cool.
okay, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna fight about it. You want to deal it that way? You want to do fucking black napkins over this? Fine, do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, how did you guys decide who's the front and back of the house?
Okay, so when we started this whole thing, so like we've mentioned, Nick was still doing a day or so at Ardena. So when we came home from Maine, Mike was like, dude, could you just come in for a day so I can just give somebody a day off? He's like, you can
Mhm.
pick what day it is. I don't care. I just need a body to be here to help. So,
Their
all right, I'll
food
do
is
that
so
for you.
good too,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, it's still one of my favorite places to
Yeah.
go
So
to
great.
also, yeah.
So he was doing that at the time. I was doing nothing. And we just so happened, again, so talking about these ideas, I made the business page linked through my Facebook and my Instagram. So it started as when you would talk to us, it was me.
Mm.
And so it just so happened I did the email, I set all that kind of stuff up. So when we go to the houses, I never come into Sam's house. I know there's one gluten allergy. I know we're starting at 6, where like he mentioned earlier, he'd wake
He
up.
doesn't even know where you're going.
Until we got our CRM software,
Like 6 months
Yeah.
ago. Yeah,
my wife's like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, what
This
time?
is
I'm like,
like
I
me
don't
and
know.
my husband.
Yeah.
Like my husband just goes where he needs to be, picks up all the stuff
Yep.
that
Yep,
I have
that's me.
planned.
Yes.
So it kind of started like that. And it's like I knew the details of the people, I knew where we were going, so it was just easier for me to do that. Yeah, it just kind of
kept that way.
flowed that way. Yeah.
People always say to us, like, oh man, like, why don't you guys switch? Or like when we go, he tells a story, he does
Yeah.
whatever while I'm making sure things are going
Right.
on in the background. And they always say, oh, we can see who's the more outgoing one. And we're like, no.
No.
Like, but we have, this is a show.
We can both do it.
Yeah.
I'm not as comfortable in the kitchen in different houses. He's not as comfortable out in the dining room, but we can both do it when necessary.
If necessary.
Yeah. I have cooked on every single home appliance you
Yeah.
can imagine.
Yeah, I have not.
I know how to work when the oven isn't as hot as it should
Mhm.
be. Yeah. Like I'm just used to it. Where
Well,
he,
yeah,
like,
because it's
yeah.
like with like home a home oven is very different than
Now, granted,
Very.
we also when we book these events, we don't ask to see your house.
that's
I
so
don't ask
cool.
to go to your kitchen. So we come in totally blind.
Yeah.
Don't know your appliances. Don't know the layout.
We
Don't
just
know
come-
anything.
We just come prepared.
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
So is there a dish that only one of you can make, like in the kitchen?
Dessert.
That's him.
You can do dessert?
Yeah.
The ice creams, all the pastries.
Yeah, that kind of, I don't think I've ever made an ice cream base ever.
Oh
in
my
life.
gosh.
Yeah, I'll say that for sure.
He makes all the hummus and the like tahini and stuff. I could do it. I don't always know like the ice water ratios and type things
Okay.
that he's
I
doing.
got it down.
But yeah, pastry's always been since day one is what I do. I
Yeah.
know desserts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, pasta. I'll usually make him roll the pasta out and stuff like
That's
that.
sleep I do not.
He can obviously make pasta and roll it out, but I'll give him shit sometimes if I'm doing tortellini. I'm like, dude, yours don't look like mine.
But that's like more so like when we have our prep list,
and the
he falls into that.
the consistency of like if I come to, a different dinner, like, and then I'm like, wait, this isn't what this
Yeah.
looked like last time.
Yes.
Tortellini's one is perfect. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm sure no one's, but I
So
get
we
it.
do. We notice.
Well,
it,
you guys,
yes.
yeah. All right, let's do some rapid
Yeah.
fire. Steve, one ingredient you refuse to compromise on quality.
Probably our just our proteins. Never serve anything from a grocery store. It's not from a butcher that we know or a farm we know. Yeah, I ate a grocery store steak last night and it was like, what is this?
Yeah, that's so. I hope to be at that one day. I mean, we do like both, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
Especially in our business. Like, I'll never
Yes.
charge you
Right.
what we charge them and serve you anything under the quality of protein that like we are comfortable with.
that makes a lot
It's
of
a
sense.
huge one.
All right, Nick, most overrated food trend right now.
Upscale casual.
Oh, true. I hate going to a restaurant that I'm like,
Just be what you are.
yeah.
That says we can charge you a lot and be mediocre.
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm paying
exactly.
$30 for a burger, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't.
Just because your bartender wears tweezers doesn't
Yeah.
mean I need an $18 cocktail. Yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, underrated ingredient that deserves a comeback.
Sunchokes.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, sweet or savory?
Savory.
Yeah, I was gonna say not the
All day.
sweet.
All day.
All right, Steve, if you had to cook one dish for the rest of your life, what is it?
It's tough. We make this dish at home. Technically, like in the traditional sense, it's called a tortilla. We call it eggs and tates at our house.
Okay.
It's a lot of olive oil, heated up slowly, thinly sliced potatoes, submerged, swimming in this olive oil that they cook very slowly, and you pour in scrambled eggs.
Ooh.
Slowly cooks from the bottom up, and you can flip it, and it's like a whole pan. It's like our 5 days a week breakfast at our house.
That sounds delicious.
And you can put salt, pepper. We put salsa, pickled vegetables, sauerkraut, kimchi, anything you want to change the flavors
Bacon,
of
whatever.
That's
That
about
sounds
it.
delicious.
Yeah.
Gonna have to remember that and make
Yeah.
it look in the all right, Nick, the kitchen tool you grab in an emergency.
Always at this like coon spoon, the chef spoon. Always.
All right, Steve, restaurant, kitchen, or private dinner party, where's your adrenaline higher?
I thought one earlier. So adrenaline's way higher in the restaurant kitchen. You're doing way more. There's a lot more going on. The service energy is so much higher. Profitability, way better in private.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure. Nick, most chaotic dinner service moment in one word.
I was intense.
I thought that earlier.
Or like, I was that, or like we used to always say blackout.
Yeah,
Just like
blackout.
you're so busy, you're just like, but yeah, you get through.
We call it
somehow.
like you look at the clock, like how did 3 hours go by?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah. Those
you black
are.
out. You blacked
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, if you weren't a chef, what would you secretly be?
It's tough. I saw this one earlier too. And I was thinking
Yeah.
about it. I
those
want to
too.
generically just say farmer. If I wasn't a chef, I would like to secretly be probably like a hunting guy.
Okay. Did you think of an answer?
I would, like, if money wasn't an issue and I can do anything, snowboarder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yep.
All right, Nick, the one dish that instantly feels like home.
Honestly, just like bolognese.
So good.
A good rigatoni bolognese.
Yeah.
A lot of parmesan. Yeah.
All right. So, Steve, you built a business around community. What deeper connection do you hope people walk away with after one of your dinners?
I hope they walk away with a connection to like the people that we brought to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole reason why we put the names of the farms on the menu, why we explain it so much, is that we're trying to also get the guests at our dinners to go shop with these same people.
Yeah.
I hope that when we leave the house, they feel like they maybe know some of them already, or they feel like when they walk into the shop, they can be like, "Oh, the Servis brothers were at my house last
Mhm.
night, and now I'm here. And I feel like I'm supposed to be here. That I know you already." Or outside of that, just a connection to us.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just feeling like we're friends now.
Yeah.
Like I remember, we have a lot of people that we do every December. We'll do like their
Yeah.
family holidays every year. I remember the first year doing this family, and the next year the mom being like, "I just feel like now it's just the boys are coming."
Yeah.
Yeah. And so just things like that of like we feel like that now we're just when we come, there's no like put on airs is the wrong word.
Yeah.
But like there's no nervousness, there's no anxiety. You know that when we come, it's fun. It's just the boys coming.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have a good time, we're gonna have a good dinner, and like that's gonna kind of be it. We can be called upon. I love guests that just text me after the
Mhm.
first time. Because now we just have that relationship,
Yeah.
and that connection together.
I mean, I think even going along with that, we kind of say, this might sound weird, we do a good job at making you feel comfortable
Mhm.
in your home. You know,
Right.
obviously you guys came here and you saw us here, but like,
Yeah.
when we come to your home, we understand how stressful hosting can be.
Mm.
We know that people sometimes put a lot of pressure on themselves to host and have a good time. Where when we come, we're like, "Yo, go enjoy."
Mhm.
Like we got it all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we will also engage,
Yeah.
make you feel comfortable, be very polite to the guests, very fun, ask a lot of questions, a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs. Where it's not just really good food, it's like really good energy
Yeah.
also.
But I also think that's something that comes like I was thinking about when you said the upscale casual, like,
Yeah.
you don't like having someone come into your home that is like in all like white with
Yeah.
like, an air about
Yeah, sure.
them. And then I think it's like you guys, I mean, again, not to go back to my judging by the cover, but
Yeah.
it's like you walk in and you're like, what? I'm getting this really upscale meal, and then these guys are making me feel so comfortable
Yes.
here, which is what people want
Yes.
from a high-end experience.
Mhm.
I don't want to go to a restaurant and spend, $300 on a meal and feel like I just like couldn't even
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
But then I also don't want to go to a restaurant that is giving me crap food and drinks for a high-end,
Yes.
experience. So I just love that you guys can make what people are paying
Yeah.
Yes.
worth
So tell
it.
them about what people have. Oh, I want something more casual.
Yeah. You get every inquiry under the sun, and like we'll get people like, "Hey, we want to have an outside, we're
Mhm.
party in the backyard." Party in the backyard, no kitchen access, and it's gonna be casual kind of thing. And I always joke around with that word casual specifically. Casual just means cheap.
Well,
When
yeah.
you say I want a casual experience, you want a cheap experience.
Mhm.
And then we always go into and I laugh about what is casual of having a complete stranger come into your home and cook dinner for you.
Very true.
That's not a casual experience.
Yeah.
So like I'm not gonna charge you a casual price.
Mm.
And so it's like when you say words like this, like we say a lot, we are very casual people.
Yes.
We come in, we do a very casual, fun, seamless, stress-free experience. Just because the food is fine dining or elevated does not mean the whole thing is stuffy.
Yeah,
Or that
right.
you
That's the
have
word
to-
I was looking for, is
Or that like
stuffy.
you have to be fine dining or elevated or dress in a suit and tie. Like we cook people in their fucking pajamas.
I love that.
But yo, like it can be as casual or sophisticated as you want it, but the food is not changing and the price is not changing.
We come in and if we notice, hey, everybody has their shoes off, we take our shoes off.
Yeah.
And now we slide in our socks around.
Yeah.
We just adjust to how you are.
Yeah.
You know?
But the funny thing of like hearing that word of like, you know,
Well, yeah, and you're exactly right, where it's like, yeah, I want you to just come flip some burgers
No,
for
like,
me.
that's not- it's not-
Like,
we-
I don't
we say no to that.
like that's not
we've
what
had
you
we've gotten
guys do
that too.
though.
We've gotten
Like,
that too. We trust me.
like you're not a catering
we turn-
company
we
that
turn
like
down a
you
lot.
come and make pasta salad and like
we
maybe
just,
you make
just
pasta
said to
salad.
our buddy Andrew Mann last night. So every Monday we sauna together.
Oh, I
we
love
have a sauna at our house. We call it Sauna Soldiers. And you know, we all just get together and talk shit and whatever. We're kind of saying that like we're not a catering company. We are an in-home restaurant experience.
that. Right.
That's what we do. We're not private chefs. I don't live with you.
Yeah. I don't cook just for you.
Yeah. I'm not prepping in your home. We are coming ready like you would in a restaurant. The meal is presented the way it would be in a restaurant, and when you're done eating, we're out of the house.
Yeah.
It's
Tell your
not-
guests to arrive a half hour early, just like a dinner reservation. Have a cocktail, just like you would at a restaurant, and then
Yes.
sit down at your reservation time, and we will start serving you.
Yeah.
Just how you do in a restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Nick, that's kind of going to be sort of my next, like from 2 years from now,
Yeah.
what's the dream for Servis Events? Is it more dinners? Is it larger events?
Yeah.
Educational experiences?
Yeah.
I would say 2 years from now, I would like for us to have maybe a 6-month wait list, like a 6-month booked out. The sizes to be average from 15 to 20.
We can do less and make more.
Yeah. Yeah. When we first started this, we were trying to do like 5 or 6 4-person events a week. Now we're doing 2 or 3 15 to 21. If we can just keep that going.
Yeah.
Education is a big thing that
That would be really
we've thought about
cool.
getting into in life. I don't know how that would go if we can maybe educate here at our property or something like that.
Be hired by a school or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do when we come to your house, it was hard with you guys having all the girls here and everything. A big part of when we come to your house, the stories we tell are education.
Mhm.
Like we want our, I guess, slogan: nourishment, excellence, education. If we can hit all 3 of those things at every meal we do, then we did our job. I want to nourish you by having really good high-end food that's going to nourish your body. We want to do excellent work and hold ourselves to an excellent standard and then educate on where it's coming from, why to be eating it, why it's in season, why our bodies agree with it, why the community agrees with it, why it's good for our ecosystem right now.
Techniques we're using to make it.
Yeah. So if we thought about getting into teaching as we get older and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
we'll see. But education is always a big thing.
Yeah.
Would like to get more into farming and ranching.
Yeah.
Just having more animals. That's my thing. That's what I like. I want more cows.
2 years is just like we keep going with everything. It's just like everything just always tighter.
Yeah.
Like there's no fluctuation of farms.
Yeah.
You know who you're working with. You know where it's coming from. Like we maybe have somebody farming here for us, doing the garden here. Like he does the livestock, but like having almost like farm managers at our property of like, I want you to grow these things. Like we always say, I'm never going to grow our own stuff to take food out of farmers' mouths because that's the whole point of this whole business. But like if we could essentially have farms and gardens and stuff here at our property that we're not having to maintain,
Yeah.
that would
Right.
be fantastic. One of the things like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you hope to hire, like, would you have
hiring a team would be
servers
cool.
and like,
So I don't know if we want to have servers and things like that. The best vision we have, and there's somebody we have in mind, it's just kind of getting like to sway them and stuff. We do fantastic. We have a server we love working with. Shout out to Alyssa. She's amazing. We can do like 30 people with the 3 of us.
yeah.
When we do more than that, our parents come.
Okay.
My mom works front of
Parents
house.
are
My dad
awesome.
works
They're so awesome too.
So they come and do events. People love seeing the whole family. That's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing where we're going out and doing 15 to 20, and we have a 2-person team who does 6 or less.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we're going out and doing big ones, they're doing the small ones. We're always turning away.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That would be cool. I don't know if I want to go any bigger than that.
It's hard because we go back and forth with even some of the people we cook for. We probably have like a 55 to 65% return rate. When we build a relationship with you, what if I sent you my B team?
Which we
So-
always say the price doesn't change, so there can't also be a B team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has to be perfect.
It has to
we
be.
have written in our kitchen a few different places. Are you really doing the work? One chance. We have one chance to win your business. You might go to an upscale casual restaurant and be like, oh, maybe the chef had an off day. Maybe the server was fighting with her boyfriend. We'll try it again next week. We don't get I'll try again next week.
No.
So I can't have a team that might do that either.
trust and
That's
that
why I
you don't-
said I would rather have a 6-month booked out list that we know what's coming in. Things fluctuate, obviously.
Yeah.
Rather than something like that.
Yeah.
Hard.
But you could, I mean, you could not for the casual people, but have that like, not the BT, but like, you know, yeah, we have this other.
We also don't want to do that.
I know.
I don't
I
offer
don't
anything
know.
else. I
Yeah.
don't want to offer a
I don't-
lesser than.
I don't want to, we always say it.
True, yeah.
If I were to offer a cheaper option,
No.
why would you ever go for the more expensive one?
Yeah.
Right. I
But
do.
if we were to
agree.
offer a 3 or 5 course,
Right.
I would never do a 7
You would
again.
never do it.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
You know
you're
what I mean?
right.
It's like
I
we
know.
have our
It just has to be like these two people are super dialed in. They know, like they would take like 3 or 4 months. You're coming to all the events with us, and we're just losing money. I'm just paying you to come with us,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
To get you, like, I want you to have at least the talking points of the story, so you can like at least recite the founder's story, so to speak.
Yep.
You can know the points of the dishes we're trying to hit. You know the farms are coming from. Like you can do the prepping and serving the way that we want you to. We're so in on like, yo, after every course, go pour water. Like no one's water glass gets empty. Like just shit like that. I don't know if I could like.
You don't
it's
wanna,
so
like,
hard to
trust
teach people.
someone?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, not even that too. When you come from a restaurant kitchen background and you go into somebody's home,
Yeah.
you can't put a hot pan on their countertop.
You could
Like,
destroy somebody's brand.
Everything you do, you're moving different. You're in a new place every day. When you're in a restaurant, you know where your oil bottle
can do
is.
it eyes
With your eyes
closed,
closed.
yeah.
Like so, when we go in, every single kitchen is different. We set up differently every single time.
Even just carrying the bins and the coolers, you don't know if you're gonna knock somebody's water bottle off the counter or knock
Yeah.
a picture frame
Or
like,
chip
you know what I'm
somebody's
saying?
wall
Yeah, like,
or
you don't know.
something. Like we're like mover chefs. Like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so you have to
Traveling
You have to be
And
so,
you know, to this point, we've never had an issue.
yeah.
I don't want to hire somebody.
And then hear about
God
it.
forbid.
The best
and-
example I can come up with. So it's funny sitting here at Rockin' Horse. We did an event here for a like retreat kind of thing, and it was like 6 women. I remember getting a conversation with the one, and she was talking about how her husband owns a tree company, and same kind of thing how we are. He goes to every job. He's with the team. It's one crew. It's this and that, and all his buddies are like, "Yo, John, like when are you gonna get a second crew? Get a second truck? Get a blah blah blah? Get a this? Get a that?" And he's always kind of explaining to his friends like, "Just because I get more doesn't mean I make more."
Yeah.
True.
So I have a second crew, insurance on a truck, payments for a truck, higher payroll, higher insurance. For us, what if you burn someone's house down?
Yeah.
Like, what if you destroy like their brand new $150,000 renovated kitchen? Like,
yeah.
what if you do something because we're trying to make $4,000 more a month?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd
It's-
rather not make that
Yeah.
and then not worry about this.
We are big, and I don't know.
Very big on.
I don't know if maybe we're too young to say this. Very big on stress in life.
How much do you want to bring in
Well,
intentionally?
it's
and
important. But
slate in?
I mean, as you guys said, this is your job, but also it's so enjoyable for you
Yeah.
guys. It might not become enjoyable, and
Exactly.
then that's going to take away from like when you guys are at this, and then there's someone else there, and then
Yeah.
what if there's something else like they need you, and
Yeah, I remember being at Slate Blue, and we had a dishwasher who was like just the worst employee ever. But you needed to have somebody there, so you would just deal with it. And I remember thinking so regularly, because the chef Mark was the owner operator. He was in his probably early 70s when I was there. Worked his balls off. And I just remember always thinking, like, I can't believe other people affect the way your day goes.
Yeah.
And it was something that I was like, I'll never allow that to happen.
No.
Well, we can tell each other, dude, stop fucking doing that.
Right.
I'm gonna knock you out if you do this again.
But just
Can't do that to
regardless,
kids
I
nowadays
couldn't
either.
imagine having a team of 2 young people who are just like, don't take it seriously or are giving bad experiences. And now I'm dealing with the clients who are upset about these people. Like it just,
because it's not something that you like. You know, that
granted, I'm
you-
looking
Yeah.
at it in more of a negative, pessimistic view, but
oh,
I don't know.
Well, It's tough.
a-
We have over 100 plus 5-star reviews.
It's like
I don't
150.
ever want to get
No.
less than that.
Yeah.
and especially for something that's not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Our last name is Servis. Our company is Servis Events. We've made this to be
Yeah.
who we are.
Yeah.
We've thought about splitting up and doing 2 different teams, but people like seeing us together. We
Yeah,
work well
I think
together.
There's
Yeah.
also a comfortability we tell guests of like, when I come into a stranger's house to meet 12 individuals, I want my brother.
yeah,
I don't want it to be some
that.
high school kid that I hired.
you're like not. Yeah, that you're
But
gonna be
I'm
wearing
watching his every move, and I'm watching his. Like I know when we go into a house, I don't look at him.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at me, and we know that everything is perfect the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And
Hot,
it's, yeah.
seasoned, ready to go.
Yeah.
First pour
Yeah,
to everything.
yeah,
Like, we know.
Yeah, it just and it makes it even better that you're twins. So like, I mean, I just trust that you guys have like some sort of
We do.
like,
We do.
yeah.
we
I
do.
mean, and I'm like, I know that you're gonna know. You just can play off each other.
So it's funny, like at a lot of the events, people ask a lot of the same questions. So we tell a lot of the same stories. I know based off the question asked what his answer is going to be, so I know how long for the next course should be ready.
Oh my God, I love that.
Like it's so dialed in. Like
I don't know. If,
You can't hire anybody else.
it's so hard. Like
You
that's
just
the hardest
can't.
part.
Honestly, like what would happen, like, 2 years from now, again, going back to the question.
Yeah.
Right now, we have for weekdays a $600 minimum. That's 3 people. We have a $1,000 minimum for weekends. That's 5 people. Maybe that jumps to $1,000 weekends and 2,000 weekends.
No,
Or
weekdays,
1,000
thousands
weekdays.
days.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is. Like
Yeah.
maybe we up the minimums, we up the pars, like
Yeah,
things like that.
But I think if you you guys, you're still so early technically in your business.
We know we are.
And so it's like, more people are going to hear about you and you're going to have, and people are going to be comfortable paying. It's not like you're going to have to find a ton of new clients.
Yeah.
Or like you're going to be getting people who are at the dinners who are like,
That's the best
usually
thing.
how it goes.
The
yeah.
best thing ever, and we tell people all the time about it. It's so fun when the guests become the host.
I know.
Yeah, you're gonna see them in a different light, and now you get to like get an insight into their life, and now like our relationship builds, and like that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's a crazy thing we do.
I loved this conversation so much. But as a last question, what's one thing about running a culinary business that you wish more people understood about the food, the philosophy, the work, or the people?
Okay, I thought about this earlier. I've read this one too. There's a couple things I want to touch on here. The first thing is the work. So one of our biggest pushbacks is you're so expensive. Now, for anybody listening, we charge $200 a person.
We are very upfront about it.
Yeah. If you can't afford it, don't call us.
Yeah.
$200 a person. We do a 7-course menu. It's all local. It's all seasonal. We provide the plates, silverware, the glassware, the iron napkins, the printed menus, everything you would need.
Alkaline hydrogen water.
Yeah. Everything you would need, you sit down at a naked table, we fill it, and we take it all back with us dirty. So it's a complete service for that one price. There's no hidden fees, there's no whatever. So the work that goes into making food the way that we do and the way we source it is something I wish people could understand.
Yeah.
Another thing is I wish people could understand how hard it is to make a living off perishable goods.
That's what I was going to say too.
Everything we do has a shelf life. And so we're ordering things weekly. Like the food
Almost
you're
daily.
eating this weekend is not coming to our kitchen before Tuesday. And so like we're doing things in such a hypersensitive sort of way of like certain garnishes aren't made until 3 hours before we come to your house because it's just the way they're going to be the best. And so like just some of those things of like the perishable food items and how you have to upcharge to make money on that. I think so many people don't understand. We have friends of ours who are in construction industries and things like that. And I'm like, how do you charge X amount of money to build this addition? And you don't really have a time frame. Like your goods don't spoil. They don't go bad. Like they don't do this, but where people have such a pushback on like something that like is going to expire in the next 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that's a really weird thing that a lot of people don't have like comprehension of. Just like you have to move these things. I can't just make you whatever you want. I can't just change the menu the day before. And the amount of work that it takes to then do said things of what you're asking for is something I wish people understood.
It's even hard. Like if we were to, and we joke about it, if we were to post and show everything we do, we'd be the only thing you see. It's hard to explain to people that on a Wednesday and Thursday night, instead of hanging out with my wife, I'm standing in our living room ironing napkins. So I can cook the next day and not take so much focus out of that.
Or starting to be home in the morning and not have to come to the kitchen so early or something.
If we do these things and make so many different sacrifices so then we can have some time with our family and do these other things that a lot of people just don't think about.
Yeah.
Because we don't tell them.
Yeah.
You know, like we just don't tell them.
Like, granted, it's our job and it's our living and it's an amazing thing. Like every night that I'm at your house cooking dinner, I'm not home for dinner. My family, I'm not putting the kids to bed. Every single time I'm doing an event, and that's usually 3 or 4 times a week. You know, so there's like sacrifices like that. I don't think people.
No.
Now, also, this is a funny one. I love to end with this. I'm sure we'll go a little longer, but a lot of people don't also understand. We do this to make money. So you're also paying that price because you're paying for my wife. Yeah. Like I have to make a living doing this also. I couldn't be as fun and give you the experience if I also wasn't making money. Yeah. I'd be a miserable asshole. Yeah. If I do the amount of work we do and then come to your house and schmooze everybody and like We were taught in college, in hospitality, like, we had this thing, and we still have it in certain places. I remember he had it on his mirror in his car forever.
for
It said,
years.
it's showtime. When you go to a restaurant or service stars or we come to events, you are putting on a show.
Mhm.
It's like putting the mask on, and here we go. It's like in Waiting when the girl's like,
Yeah.
and she comes around, it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, that is
Yeah.
the real thing. And so, like, I couldn't put on the show if I also wasn't making a living.
Mhm.
I'd be way more
'Cause you're
bitter
like,
about it.
I'm here. Like, it's exciting to be like, okay, I'm making this amount of money off of tonight,
Yes.
and
It's amazing.
it's
Like,
great.
Well, I mean,
so
we-
those, I
yeah.
think people give you pushback where it's like, you're paying for my effort to get all the food. You're paying for my food knowledge. You're paying for the many, many, many hours I'm prepping before I come here. And then you're paying because I have to also make a living.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's like, again, if you go out to like a regular nice restaurant, you're paying at least, $100 a person, just
Yeah.
say. You're not getting 7 courses. You're not getting so it's like, paying that whatever it is, like, you're getting so
We
much
have this
more than
breakdown-
just a
we have that broken
meal.
down on our Instagram of like what an average night out costs, what
Yeah.
Servis Events costs,
I
and
mean,
like,
and we got so much pushback on it. Oh my god! Me and my wife just went out to a restaurant. I'm not going to name it, and it was exactly what we charge.
Mhm.
$200 a person. It was not that on the menu, but just after what we got and
Yeah.
wine and everything else, like it came out to that. And her and I both left, and we get in the car, and she was like, "That sucked."
Mhm.
And I was like, "I didn't want to say it."
yeah.
Like, because I'm always the one who's like, this is garbage, whatever. Like, I try.
There's
I try
nothing
not to
worse
be,
than
but
I don't care paying for.
I will
food.
pay whatever it is.
I'm like, I do not
Yes.
care what it is, but when I pay and the food is not up to that
Yeah.
standard, I'm like,
We also, I'm never going to go and be like, oh, hey, I'm a chef. I don't want
No.
I don't want anybody to even know who I am when I go to eat. Like,
but they shouldn't,
oh, it's tough.
yeah.
So that I just wish people understood the amount of effort it takes to put these things on, to get everything the way that we do, just all the pieces that go into it, and then just really, it's the perishable food item
Mhm.
that's so hard that I don't think anybody thinks about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think nobody thinks about either. Like, the social media marketing,
Yeah.
constant posting, the paid Google ads. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit. We always joke, like, there's so much that goes into us just trying to cook food for you.
It's so much more than me just cooking food for you.
Oh my
You know what I
God,
mean?
like email campaign analytics and social media reaches and
SEO
engagement,
stuff.
SEO.
Having
It's
to
like,
do meetings with all these
SEO.
people.
dude, I'm
insane.
just trying to cook. Like, my God. Like, so yeah, it's a lot. But like he said, I couldn't agree more. I wish more businesses would say, hey, I'm trying to make money too.
Mhm.
But we say, I'm giving you the best experience and product possible too.
Right.
So I don't have a problem saying I'm trying to make money because I know I'm literally giving it everything we have.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm doing it here on the property and shit also. Like,
Yeah.
we also live what we preach and preach what we live.
Well, I think that's the perfect place to
Yeah.
end it, right?
Okay.
With that, I love it. This was awesome. I loved doing this with you guys. I'm so glad that we were able to do it in person.
So
It's going to bring us to the end of another episode of The Running Wine Mom. Again, like you just said, I love that you guys are building something that reflects who you guys actually are, which is so cool. Like, I knew you guys were, but I loved learning even more about that today. And I know all the listeners as well. You're not just chasing the grind, as again, you mentioned, like, you are doing what you love and creating experiences that bring people back to the table. And as I mentioned, we're sitting here filming at your family's Airbnb, the Rocking Horse Acres. If you can see it in the back, that it's beautiful. It feels like the perfect extension of everything that we really talked about today. So if you're in Bucks County, Philly, Jersey, or really anywhere, because Bucks County is such a wonderful place to explore, this is the kind of place you want to book for the weekend with friends. And there's a private kitchen where you can book the Servis brothers, and it's just a beautiful space to gather and invite you to slow down just a little bit. So again, thank you guys so much for this today and just, being who you guys are. As always, thank you for spending time with us on The Running Wine Mom. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. You can follow me on Instagram at @TheRunningWineMom_. And where can the listeners follow you guys?
Instagram at Servis Events, Facebook Servis Events, anywhere really Servis Events.
Service. SERVIS.
Yes.
Not CE. SERVIS events. Search that. You'll find us anywhere. I can't tell you how many people I say that to, and as I'm talking to them, they spell it wrong still.
Yeah, it's like your brain gets scrambled.
Yeah.
Servis.
Yes, and I will link it too, so
Yes.
you can't mess it up. So thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, you are strong, you are capable, and you are all amazing. Until next time, keep sipping, keep running, and keep embracing the joy of food
Let's go.
and parenthood. Cheers, and I'll be back next Tuesday.